We would like to think that we are great guessers in finding out the voices of our favorite animated characters, but sometimes these talented voice actors throw us for a loop. More often than not, a lot of the iconic cartoon characters are voiced by the opposite gender. And guess what? Bob's Burgers wins the award for this one. Number 1. Nick Kroll quite literally has a big mouth when it comes to voicing cartoon characters. Kroll's got the voice for comedy, and that's why it was perfect that he played Lola.
I want to go to a Pretty Little Liars meet and greet.
This intensely annoying character is someone this kind of actor loves playing. He also voices a ton of the characters in the show, the not so appropriate ones. Not that appropriate is even a thing for Big Mouth or anything.
What language is that? You're very beautiful.
We can all remember him playing the off-putting and annoying character Howard Tuttleman on Parks and Rec, right? Number 2. This is the first of many Bob's Burgers characters that are voiced by the opposite genders. And first up is Tina Belcher.
I don't think this will count as an official patch, but thank you.
Dan Mintz brings this hilariously awkward character to life by, well, just being himself. He really doesn't change his voice for this character. Why? His natural voice talking for a pretty weird character just works.
How you doing, Tina? You seem a little loggy.
Well, you seem a little shut your face.
Number 3. Grenda is the glue that holds the Belcher family together. And who better to voice her than John Roberts? This isn't the only character from a cartoon he's voiced. You might also recognize him as the voice of Siler on Gravity Falls. Bob's Burgers definitely pulled off the gender-bending rules in the best way possible.
So this is the Brad who picked on my Louise, huh? Let me tell you something, Miss Priss.
Number 4. Does Nancy Cartwright even need an introduction?
And I'm so touched that all of you would take the time to eat my shorts, lamos!
This veteran of the industry has been voicing Bart Simpson for over a whopping 30 years. That's a long time to hang out in the booth.
Ay, caramba!
Her prolific voice career also led her to voice Chucky Finster in Rugrats and Rufus in Kim Possible. She was definitely a huge part of our childhoods and hopefully more generations to come. Number 5. We're not thrilled to be talking about Courtney Wheeler from Bob's Burgers, but we are thrilled to be talking about David Wain.
But it has great acoustics for singing. Lock in love.
David's been involved in every step of the production process, from acting to directing. There's really nothing he can't do in Hollywood. Number 6. These sisters, or brothers in Bob's Burgers, are 2 comedians in a pod. Sarah Silverman voices the role of Andy Pesto, a random role for a gal that can literally voice anyone.
I'm Tina!
No, you're me.
Oh.
You'd probably recognize her voice as Cray's assistant in Big Hero 6 and a bunch of the voices in Future Worm. Number 7. The other half of the Pesto duo, Ollie, is voiced by a household name. Can you guess? Here's a hint. She has the same last name as Laura's.
I'm selling pens to benefit my Beaver Scout troop. How many can I put you down for?
None.
7?
You guessed right. If you're a fan of stand-up comedy, then you've definitely heard of Sarah Silverman. She's also made her voice acting rounds in numerous animated shows like Robot Chicken and The Simpsons. Number 8. Brad Bird made a small character like Edna Mode into one of the most memorable from the Incredibles movies.
Yes, I'm sure your gratitude is quite inexpressible.
But Brad is not usually stuck behind the mic. He's actually the Pixar director that brought a ton of classics to the silver screen, including Iron Giant, The Incredibles, and Ratatouille. This hard-working creative deserved to take a great role like Edna Mode, but he's always pushing forward with new projects in live action as well.
If you repress, you depress, darling. To impress, you must express.
Number 9. Colleen O'Shaughnessy rose to stardom when she took on the role of Tails in the Sonic universe.
It is an honor to finally meet you, Sonic.
Colleen took up the helm of Tails in 2014 and then most recently got to voice on the big screen in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Let's just say Sonic fans were extremely happy she was back for the big film. Number 10. This whimsical show's iconic character is actually voiced by a big-time animator. And, oh yeah, he's actually its creator.
My beans!
Pendleton Ward not only created Adventure Time, but also helps animate the show and voice the character Lumpy Space Princess. We got a feeling he intentionally wrote this character for himself. She's definitely an explosive one.
I said lump off, Mom!
Number 11. Remember watching Saturday morning cartoons as a kid and thinking, that voice sounds familiar? Well, it was probably Tara Strong.
This is weird.
Before she took on the role of Rocky J. Squirrel in the reboot of the show, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, she'd already voiced dozens of cartoon characters. She may or may not show up later on in this list. Cough cough. She will. Number 12. Who else but Carl Faruolo to voice the mighty and obsessive Grendinator from Gravity Falls?
Grenda has entered the party!
Carl is somewhat new to the industry compared to the others, but it didn't take long for him to fall into the Hollywood voice acting industry.
Yeah! Too much!
Number 13. Remember what we said about Tara Strong? Well, she's back in this list with a very memorable character, Timmy Turner.
No amount of therapy will ever make this moment okay.
With no debate, this has to be her most remembered character, as the Fairly Odd Parents is a national treasure.
I wish Cosmo and Wanda were here.
Number 14. Debi Derryberry has played almost every kind of oddball character you could think of, but her most notable one?
Got a blast.
Her big-time role as the beloved Jimmy Neutron in The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius marked her place in the Cartoon Hall of Fame. Oh, and she was also Draculaura on Monster High, which is super cool. Number 15. From Pokemon to Dragon Ball Super, Veronica Taylor has touched the hearts of many animated superfans.
I won, and I beat Gary.
Making us feel super old. You know it's been over 20 years since she started as the voice of Ash Ketchum? Longevity is key in Hollywood, and if you're anything like Veronica, you'll make so much success with one iconic character. Number 16. Masako Nozawa, aka the queen of voicing anime characters. Masako is a legend in the anime community, having voiced Goku from Dragon Ball since 1986. She's been working hard with her voice acting skills way early on in the 60s though, and no, she still hasn't stopped, nor should she. Number 17. Regina King is an on-screen star, but some people seem to forget that she voiced Huey and Riley Freeman in the hit show The Boondocks.
We could just do a little research and look it up. I don't know, pick up a book.
Surprisingly enough, Regina was actually brought on board to voice Huey, but show creators had a different idea in mind.
I originally was only playing Riley, and here we are in our second season, and I'm Huey and Riley.
Aside from the Boondocks, King only has a couple other minor voice acting roles, but she's definitely more recognizable in live-action classics like A Cinderella Story, The Big Bang Theory, and Daddy Daycare. Number 18. And the Emmy goes to Pamela Aldon for Bobby Hill in King of the Hill.
I can't believe I'm on The Tonight Show. I'm in Hollywood.
When she auditioned for the role, she did so many different versions of Bobby that she just gave up.
I just gave him a few and I said, pick one.
Of course, this casting doesn't come as a surprise to us. Pamela can seriously do any project, and luckily for her, this one became a staple in her career, launching her to success for more Emmy nominations for on-screen performances in Better Things and Californication, putting her in front of a lot of TV bingers.
It's gonna be very in your face.
Number 19. Who voices Betsy Krabs Under the Sea?
Yeah! My foot!
Most of you know this name for many reasons, but you've most likely seen the name Paul Tibbett after watching the same DVD or VHS tape of SpongeBob in the credits as a child. Well, at least we did. That's because Paul animated, wrote, and directed a lot of those classic episodes. So of course he's gonna voice Mama Krabs, and we're happy he did.
I guess you scallywags have earned a glass of lemonade.
Number 20. Okay, let's be honest here. Who else is always waiting for a Consuelo appearance in Family Guy?
Oh, no, doggy out. What? Out afuera.
Well, her voice actor is more present than you think, as Michael Robert Henry also voices one of the creepiest characters ever made, Herbert.
Da 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 da.
That's honestly all we can show of that guy on this channel. Not that it really matters to us, but in the end, who else could have voiced these characters to iconic stardom? That's right, nobody. So who do you think just knocked their performances out of the park? Let us know in the comments.